ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the Secretary General, the friend of Dushanbe, esteemed Hamid Zoda, and the Secretariat staff for organizing today's meeting. Sorry, are you hearing me?
Yes, your voice is crystal clear. Please go on.
This event is important for analyzing the organization activities in the past year and designing constructive plans for the next year to increase the organization influence in the region. I would like to note with satisfaction that despite the difficult geopolitical situation in the region and in the world, the Asian Mayors Forum was able to continue its activity in 2024 with the framework of its existing opportunities. Dushanbe looks forward to develop the strengthening friendly relation with the member cities of the Asian Mayors Forum in all areas of interest and taking into account common tasks. Dear participants, during these years, several important events for Dushanbe took place, which we consider necessary to highlight. An important political event in the bilateral relation between Dushanbe and Tehran was the official visit of the Chairman of the Parliament of the Republic of Tajikistan, the Mayor of Dushanbe, His Excellency Mr. Rustam Emomali, to the Islamic Republic of Iran on January 8th and 9th of this year. Within the framework of the official visit, the Chairman of Parliament of the Republic of Tajikistan, the Mayor of Dushanbe, His Excellency Mr. Rustam Emomali, met with the Chairman of the Islamic Consultative Assembly of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Mr. Mohammad Baqir Kholimbaf, with the former President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, His Excellency Sayyid Ibrahim Raisi, and the Mayor of the Tehran, Mr. Ali Riza Zakani, who have made a significant contribution to the expansion of interparliamentary, interstate, and intercity relations, as well as strengthening the legal base of relation between the two countries. As a result of this visit, around 15 new cooperation documents were signed to develop production, introduce modern technologies, establish new industrial plants, and further expand mutually beneficial bilateral relations. In this regard, it is worthy to mention the signing of the program of cooperation between the executive body of the state power of Dushanbe and the municipality of Tehran. I would like to take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the Tehran municipality for its warm hospitality and high-level welcome. Dear friends, the 20th World Urban Forum was organized in Cairo from 4th to 8th November 2024 under the chairmanship of the United Nations and the government of the Arab Republic of Egypt, and was held under the theme, it all starts from home, local actions for sustainable development of cities and communities. On the framework of World Urban Forum, for the first time in the history of Tajikistan's sovereignty, a side event was held to present the first voluntary local review of the city of Dushanbe on the theme Dushanbe, a sustainable and smart future city. During this event, the measures taken by the leadership of the city of Dushanbe in the progress of implementing and localizing the global agenda for sustainable development and future priorities of the municipality were presented. I would like to remind that the main purpose of the developing of the voluntary local review is, first of all, to assess the progress of the capital in implementing the SDGs, to identify issues that need to be addressed and found solution to them, to determine the priorities for further development of the city of Dushanbe, and to present its achievement in the international arena. In addition, on the framework of this forum, the capital's delegation participated and spoke at the panel of urban measures to protect the environment and resilience to emergencies. Based on the Dushanbe experience, the following issues were highlighted: expanding green spaces through the renovation and construction of the park and boulevards, planting trees and shrubs, reducing greenhouse emissions through the transition to green economy standards in industry and electric vehicles, taking into account green infrastructure during the construction of facilities, and strengthening the management urban system of the Dushanbe city. On the November 7th of this year, the delegation of the city of the Dushanbe participated and spoke at the side panel on the topic enhancing local solutions in the context of global challenge through national and local government. In the event, the experiences of the city of Dushanbe on the stage of preparing the voluntary local review of the city of Dushanbe and the mechanism of its implementation was presented with the other responsible ministries and departments of the country, civil society and foreign partners. Dear friend, on November 12th of this year, a high-level roundtable on the topic Green Cities Leaders for Regional Cooperation was held in Baku, Azerbaijan. I would like to remind that this event took place within the framework of the plenary session of the 29th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, as well as COP29. In recognition of the achievement of the city of Dushanbe in the field of green development, Dushanbe, along the cities of Almaty, Samarkand, Bishkek, and Ganja, became a co-founder of the SPECA Climate Smart Cities Forum. Dear colleagues, in the 2025, a number of high-level events are planned to be held in Dushanbe, including the International Holiday of Nowruz, the Heritage and World Tourism, Wrestling Competition National Tours, and other high events. Taking this opportunity, I would like to invite each of you to visit the capital of Republic of Tajikistan, Dushanbe, and participate in above-mentioned events. In conclusion, I would like to express our gratitude for supporting the chairmanship of Dushanbe in the session. Also, we express our readiness to make the worthy contribution to get participant cities of the Asian Mayors Forum, achieving the task set with the framework of the Asian Mayors Forum. Thank you for your attention, dear friends, colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. Babazadeh. We have found your speech very productive and inspiring. I pass the floor to the Dr. Gholamzadeh. He is the Secretary General of AMF.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, please.
So if I can please have the presentation available before welcoming. First of all, I would like to say good morning, good afternoon to everyone from across the vast continent of Asia, which is the land that the Asia Mayors Forum is working with, and has the honor to have connections with many cities across this whole continent. It is a pleasure to join you in this interesting sunny morning here in Tehran. You can see the light actually on my face, and it is a pleasure to have you for another meetup event, which could be considered as a review of what we have achieved and done during the past year and what is upcoming for the next year. If I can see the screen right now, as usual, the presentation of Meetup is usually a review. The first part would be the review of the performances, and we're going to have a look at 25 as well. Do we have the PowerPoint uploaded? Because I cannot see that right here. Okay. Right. So if you can move forward for the next time, please. So it's going to be a review, and then, as I said, plans for 2025. Let's move on. Okay, first have a look at this. So usually you have divided the reports into different aspects. Just to have a review for those who have recently joined us, or for those who have not been previous meetings and talks, I need to repeat some of the approaches and policies that we have had, and it would be good to know that our for the past 3 years, our emphasis was on improving our relations and connections with the member cities, but also we pursue to have relations with other organizations and improve and activate our relations with other international organizations or regional ones, and also with the citizens and other bodies and entities that we can consider in all the activities that cities can have. So a part of this cooperation and the report that I'm going to present, it would be about the MOUs that we have signed with other organizations and the other international organizations, so on, that we are going to move ahead. So we had the honor to sign 3 MOUs during the past year, and we have been working on 3 more ones. So we had the MOU with IOM, International Organization for Migration, and which is responsible for, as the name suggests, responsible for dealing with the challenges that countries and cities are facing with the migration issue. We had actually a successful event together as well. It would be presented in further slides, and it provides us a very good opportunity to work with them and pay attention to a challenging issue that many cities are working with. Usually when it comes to migration, people are talking about the governments, national governments, and policies are set at national level, like the United Nations and all those high-ranking and national level organizations. But the reality is that the cities and municipalities are the first entities that deal with the challenge. When migrants come to a city, the city and the services that the cities provide are dealing with them, so it cannot be ignored. So because of this significance, we signed an MOU with the Iranian office of the IOM on behalf of the headquarters in Geneva, and we are planning to have some events actually all together, including the Asian cities, especially those who are facing this challenge more than the others. The other one was with the Organization for Development of International Cooperation in Science and Technology. So it is based on the use of IT and technology and the science-based and knowledge-based entities that is very important for urban management these days. And we signed this MOU with them in order to have further cooperation together, especially for the next year. Another one is the Organization for Asia Pacific News Agencies, OANA. OANA is a very significant and prestigious organization which connects all the news agencies across Asian countries. We are all working in municipalities, and we are doing many things, providing services to citizens. But what services are being provided? Because cities are usually doing a lot of things. Sometimes they forget to inform the others, or they ignore to inform the citizens. But this partnership with ONA would provide the grounds for them to have the chance to have better information services for the citizens. So this cooperation is very significant, and we expect to have the chance to provide the opportunity and the ground for the cities to have better connections with the news agencies. And of course, to inform the activities, especially the main ones, the big projects, Asian-wide, not only nationwide or city-wide. We can use this to share the word and spread the word of the activities. Best practices could be informed to other cities and countries. And by these information services and this news approach, these activities and experiences and ideas can be shared with the others at very wide level. It can provide also the ground for better cooperation between cities and citizens. Sometimes we have activities that are directly targeting the citizens. Then through the news agencies, we can inform them and work with them. Moreover, we are working with ONA to have some workshops and educational services for journalists to have a better understanding of urban issues and urban services that municipalities are providing, or some technical issues. Like, for example, we are right now in the middle of arrangement of some courses, designing some courses on how to report crisis in times of crisis. And what the demands are, or what the situations are, what information they need to have, what let's say the equipment they need to have, and how they can work with cities in times of crisis. So it is one of main issues. Or another one regarding the first MOU that I mentioned. We are working with IOM to design some courses for journalists to cover what the topics are, what the concepts are in the partnership, what is the difference between immigration and immigration, what's the difference between migrants and the refugees. Entities, news agencies, and municipalities. And this MOU is regarding and actually addressing that demand, and wants to help cities have better connection with that. We are going to also have some other, let's say, MOUs that we have exchanged the text, and it is in final actually phases. We hope to have some of them signed even before the new year, but maybe in the first quarter of the next year. The first one is the ECO, the Economic Cooperation Organization, which is actually the entity including 10 Asian cities, the country, sorry. It is at country level, national level, and it has 10 member countries. And its focus, as the name suggests, is to have cooperation on economy. We had a meeting on the sidelines of the events that we had recently, and there I shared with them the idea that cities have a lot of opportunities in terms of economic cooperation. So we can join hands and work on this to offer actually the investments or economic opportunities that cities have to business sections, to investors, to to private sector, to work together. So I hope that this would lead to further improvement of the economy of the cities. Another one is the sub-branch of the ECO or ECO, is the ECI, the Cultural Institute within the ECO. We already had actually one MOU with them in the past, but it had expired. But fortunately, with the new management and the new team that came to ECI, they right now the presidency and the responsibility of the ECO is by this country of Pakistan. So both gentlemen heading the ECO and ECI are from Pakistan, two very significant figures and people that are very friendly and very cooperative, and we have already had a couple of cooperation together. So we are going to have another one, actually, revise the MOU and sign a new one, updated and with further and more information to work together. Another one is with a couple of universities, AMF University, University, and Applied Sciences University in Tehran. The reason that we are pointing the finger to the universities that we are working with is that we have realized and we believe that it is very important to have this connection between municipalities and urban managers with the scientific bodies, mainly universities. It is very important to work together in terms of research, in terms of providing the ground for the graduates to find their way into the urban management and the positions that the cities can have in order to have them used in their services. So it is very important to use the new sciences, new technologies, and it is very important to, let's say, to have fresh blood actually into the veins of the urban management, which would be the young generation, technical technicians actually, who can use their expertise in serving the cities and countries. It is also good to mention that the other University of Dubai is also part of this cooperation. So right now we have 4 universities that we are going to have cooperation and MOU signed with them. If you can go to the next slide, please. Okay. As I said, we are working with international organizations, especially those based in Tehran. We have a number of international and regional organizations, just like ECI and ECO that I just mentioned, and other ones. So we have some good activities together. Last winter, it was in March, that we had the tree planting for peace and friendship cooperation with international organizations and also with foreign embassies inside Tehran as well. So it was a great ceremony. We had many distinguished guests from embassies. First, to serve the environment, and second, to establish some connections which is deep-rooted in the green area and the land of Tehran, and these trees living there for many and many years, and it would be something that people would pay attention to and to remember for many years, decades after us. So another one was, as I mentioned, it was the cooperation that we had with AMF and also ECI. It was about the migrants and how cities can actually pay attention to the challenges of the migration. And it was actually focused on child labor, which is a challenge, especially in big cities and megapolises and metropolises. So we had this meeting there with the technical and experts shared their ideas, and we had also a small exhibition, some of them by cities and some of them by some migrants. It was very interesting that we had this chance to provide this opportunity to them to provide their handicrafts and the arts that they created and how they can add to the city that is hosting them. It was very good example, small one, but very useful and good example of such cooperation. Cooperation with ECI and CO, we had the honor to host the farewell ceremony to the distinguished Secretary General of the Economic Cooperation Organization, ECO, Dr. Khosrow Nazari, who was a great guy, a very good friend of mine from Tajikistan, and he left office during the summer. It was at the end of his term, and we had the honor by the cooperation and the trust of the ECI, Cultural Institute of Mexico, to host the event in the headquarters of the AMF, and it was a great honor to have several ambassadors, people from the diplomatic corps from inside Tehran, and it was another example of such cooperation. So let's move forward. But at the end of the day, it is the cities that are the main partners and members of the AMF, and the top agenda is for working with cities. We did our best to have several cooperations with many cities, and there are some just examples here that I can mention. We had photo exhibition about Shiraz, which was held here. We had my Zaydan conference in Zaydan. We tried to cooperate with them and help them in hosting that event. It is a very good one, actually, paying attention to the identity and the background of a city that has at least 7,000 of history of civilization. So it is very important to work with Zaydan for us. Another one was the first meeting of Women Network in city of Khorramabad, which was held a couple of weeks ago. And also we had the tourism committee conference inside in Tehran. And also with Kermanshah, we had this event on reciting Shahnameh. Shahnameh is an epic work of literature, which is shared among the whole Persian language countries. And it was very significant work in the past. And one ritual, let's say, is to recite the stories of that. And it's some sort of art here, at least in Iran. I also know that there are some other countries that have similar ones. And this was the festival that they held during summer, and it was very successful. They had international guests and participants from Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, Sweden, and people participated in that event. A very significant event that we had was the conference on environment, which was hosted by the president of the Environment and Urban Environment and Health Committee, the city of Khorramabad. And there we had a successful panel discussions, and some distinguished members from our member cities, just like Ankara and Antapur, and also Kazan, and as far as I can remember, most cities as well. Some academicians and activists from other countries like Tunisia, Russia, and other places that joined us, and of course from Iran as well. And it was very successful, very intensified schedule during 2 days of the event, and very good in terms of sharing experience and knowledge. We have and are going to have actually this astronomy festival, which is going to be later this week in city of Rash. We had another one last week in Kermanshah, both actually the creative cities of UNESCO, and they are using this opportunity very well to introduce their creativity and their culture to the rest of the world. We are going to have in about 2 weeks almost, we are going to have this international conference of environment in the city of Shiraz that we are participating. That Shiraz, to just remind, has been the environment capital of Asia for 2024, as it was mentioned, and we noticed that past year in the meetup event. So these what also the activities we have. This We had committee on tourism, as I said, and some other events that we had in the cities. We had 2 events such as smart city indices, and some factors that can be considered to name a city a smart. It was a panel discussion held privately earlier this year, and also we had some events on crisis management, especially in terms of that would be further explained during the technical committee. So let's move forward. We had cooperation with embassies. So the headquarters is located in Tehran, but it doesn't mean that it needs to work only with Tehran or Iranian cities. We are working with other cities as well, but it is not always possible to work with cities directly or physically, let's say, to better put. So we are using embassies and using their help to connect us. They are not just representatives of the political government of the country. They can be representative of the cities and the country as well. So we are working with embassies and trying to discover new areas and new opportunities to work with in order to introduce those countries to people inside Iran, or in a hybrid version to the rest of the Asian countries and cities. So what we had was just having some photo exhibitions, a good example of such cooperations that we had with, and it was a creative point of that was that we used subway stations for such exhibitions. Thousands and thousands of people, let's say hundreds of thousands of people commute in the metro stations on a daily basis, and you can have actually a captive audience directly there. So we use metro stations for exhibitions, and it was very successful. The 2 experiences that we had was very successful. Many people welcomed the idea, and we had so far had these 2 countries presenting and introducing their countries through the lens of the cameras and the frames of photos. And from here, I would like to suggest such cooperation among cities. We are ready to work with other cities, and we welcome actually this idea to work with them. It could be exchanged. We can have, for example, an exhibition of, let's say, for example, Tehran in one city in Asia, and vice versa. It would be in metro stations in Tehran. It could be expanded to other areas as well. We have, for example, billboards in the city that are usually managed by the municipalities. We can extend them. So we have a lot of platforms and infrastructure that we can use in order to introduce cities to one another and introduce the countries to one another. And we need to use such opportunities. We extend our hands of cooperation in this area, and we do believe that it would be very helpful to have such cooperations, and you can count on us on sharing ideas, on working together, and being part of this cooperation in any way that you might suggest. Another exhibition was the cultural exchange of Russia. It was the photos of a person who had visited several cities and countries of Asia, and he shared his photos with us, and he had this exhibition here in our secretariat. Again, for those of who have not participated here, when we did not have the chance to be with you, I think it is good to know that we have a good, let's say, space in the second floor of the headquarters that usually can hold place about 30 or some 30-40 photos and frames for exhibition. So it can be, let's say, used, and I hope that we can have the honor to host every single one of you in our headquarters and to visit this place in different organizational situations. So let's move ahead and see what is next. Okay, so the events and workshops that we have, I'm going to divide it into two sections. The internal ones and international ones will be hosted here, and those that are hosted internationally. One of the main ones was the summer for young diplomats. Again, I need to remind that as an international organization and as an organization that is dealing with cities, part of our audience needs to be the citizens. So it's not just only through the member cities, we are dealing with them directly as well. One of them was this summer school on young diplomats. We provided some extensive course actually for those young generations who want to enter into the area of diplomatic relations and international relations, so that they can have a better understanding of the situation. That's not the only thing that is necessary for that. As I said, in the same regard, we are using edutainment actually and infotainment for some of our activities with citizens. If you can remember, last year we introduced the in-city platform. Part of that in-city was in-city play, and you used edutainment and used games for entertainment for education of the audience. So one of samples is the board game Risk, which is used for let's say teaching strategic thinking to the audience, and it is very common among universities, top universities, to teach that and use that in international relations courses. So we had this in form of competition for a number of times. We had several rounds of such competitions among university students who are studying courses related to the international relations and foreign policy and such things, so that they have the chance to experience this through the game and to find out more realities about negotiations, dealing with others, dealing with challenges, and such things through the board game of Risk. We have also urban cinema events. We cast documentaries or movies that are in one way or the other related to urban issues, and we have usually public audience, of course, usually among university students related to urban issues. And of course, we have some experts talking about the movie or the documentary and to dive into the details of the issue. And we had the third event during the past year. We have several workshops on public diplomacy and how we can serve the cities and the urban issues, and city diplomacy and citizen diplomacy. All the subdivisions of public diplomacy can be used for activists and people from municipalities. So as an international organization, another workshop that we provide is English correspondence, so that the younger generation can learn. If they get into the international domain, they be able to have the first communication and correspondence as the first and most official way of communication with other entities. So it is another workshop. So as I said in the previous slide as well, we have had several webinars and hybrid meetings, in-person meetings on earthquake and crisis management, about women, and also about the skillfulness of citizens. We had this event there in our headquarters in cooperation with one of the universities in Tehran. Again, within that framework of MOUs that I explained earlier. we had this meeting to talk about how important it is for citizens to be skillful and how cities can provide the skills to the citizens. We have had some joint events also with the Diplomatic Ladies Association that is located in Tehran. So we have many ambassadors and diplomatic staff here in Tehran. They are always participating in several official meetings, but their families usually don't have this opportunity. So DLA is responsible for providing opportunities and activities for the spouses and the families of the diplomats, and we actually feel this responsibility as well to work with them and to, let's say, to work with them to provide them opportunity for such cooperation as well. So that's the cooperation that we had. Here you have two examples of visiting Paris Technology Park and also the, let's say, Azhar University, which is a university in Tehran dedicated to girl students, female students. Let's move ahead. Thank you. So we have also the AMF Executive Board meeting, which was one of the constitutional events that was very important. And also we introduced Asian capital cities, again to just review. It is about environment. We introduced Shiraz, Hamadan, and also Khomeini in Lebanon. We had Asian cities ranking event, another panel discussion that we had last year and earlier this year. We had Peace Day events in September, which is the World Peace Day. We had events for younger generations, again using the platform of edutainment. It included some facilitation games and activities that uses activities for transferring some concepts and some ideas to the audience and participants. We had painting competition, which is at the final stages right now. It is under the judgment, and they are reading all the photographs. So the topic was Gaza without war. It was, let's say, with the developments in the situation that we had for the past year, since October 7th, 2023, we have been witnessing a very bad situation, genocide in Gaza, and after that, brutal attacks on Lebanon, which killed especially innocent women and children. It was very sad. So in order to pay attention to that and to raise concerns and awareness about that, we decided to have this painting competition for the children in order to have the next generation be more careful about the future and about the world around them. So we had these, and we received hundreds of paintings, I think it was, and drawings. I think it was more than 300 and something drawings from children from across the Asia. Being judged by some experts, and they are, let's say, going through them stage by stage, level by level. They are omitting some of them, and then we hope that either by the end of this year or maybe the early days of the next year, we can have the judgment, and the winners would be announced, and then we would offer them the prizes and the presents. And a very special event that we had was the event that we hosted here in city of Tehran, in cooperation with facility that we had in Taiwan related to the astronomy and space studies. And we had some astronomers astronauts from Russia, two ladies, and it was paying attention to women and girls in space studies. It was a very significant event because it provided grounds for girls how to get into a topic which is very technical, very difficult to enter to. And then we had actually this ceremony, this events, and talking to them. They shared experiences, some ladies from Russia and some ladies from Iran. They actually provided their experiences about this topic of space work and so on. Let's move ahead. So we had the honor to host many officials and representatives from different organizations, entities, embassies, a lot of them, and sometimes from other member cities, which is very important to join them, have the honor to host them here. ECI, the ECO Cultural Institute, is one of the main ones. ISOCAR, we had the honor to have the Secretary General of the ISOCAR here. Deputy Mayor of Shanghai joined us, and we had a delegation from Shanghai to discuss further cooperation. IOM, as I mentioned, the MOU signing ceremony in the past. And also from some member cities, just like Hamadan, Tardiz, Ramsar, Raj, Behshar, and also Zohaidan, I can remember, and some other cities. We had diplomats and ambassadors from Kuwait, Malaysia, Japan, Turkey, which would provide us, as I said, further cooperation grants for cooperation with other cities in their own countries. We had a meeting with Iranian ambassador to Senegal. I want just to remind that we have observer members from Senegal and some other, and Ivory Coast as well. With this connection, it was very important for us, since our Iranian ambassador was in Tehran, we invited him to join us in the headquarters, and we discussed the cooperation. We informed him about such connections between Dakar and AMF, that they are member to our organization, and the grounds that we have for further cooperation. And it is very important to notice that Senegal and Dakar is actually right now the 10 president of Metropolis, a good member of UCFG Active Platform. So this organizational cooperation, Dakar can be actually the hinge between these organizations right now, so that we can better work together, and we can expand relations between Asian cities, African cities, and other metropolitan cities across the world, and to work together in different areas. So this was actually the issue that I talked to our Iranian ambassador to Senegal, so that they can work. And we are going to host next week, actually, a delegation from Senegal. And the delegation is not just from Dakar, it's also actually representing several cities, and they are going to come to Tehran in order to have some meetings and pave the ground for further cooperation, further trips from the mayors and distinguished staff of the municipalities in the future. So let's move ahead, move forward. So let's it was about meeting the events, and let's go ahead. Next one, please. So we had some meetings and that we participated as the secretariat. So it was the meeting that we had with Metropolis. I think good friends of Metropolis right now are online. I can see Bianca and maybe the others. We have a good distinguished Secretary General of Metropolis, Mr. Jordi Aquarius, a very good friend and very cooperative in working together, and have been very helpful in expanding the relations between AMF and Metropolis. And we had this meeting in the past. We had our delegation participating in BRICS Plus event in Kazan. Actually, it was the formation of the Association of BRICS Plus Cities, which is going to be another regional organization, which we already have had good and close relationships, and it's a very brilliant idea to have this association shape, and we are working together, and I'm quite sure that this can provide much further grounds for cooperation between cities. I did actually participate in construction conference in Moscow. It was in September. That was about architecture and culture, how they can work together. We had our representative of the coordinator of our women network participated in an event in Kazan, and also in St. Petersburg later. We had our chef as the judge in gastronomy events in Kazan. In UNESCO Heritage Cities Network, we had participants in the Kartay in Turkey was hosted the event, and we had our representatives there. In Eurasian Women's Forum, again, it was in St. Petersburg. Recently, it was in September that our colleagues participated there. We had as Mr. Babazadeh mentioned, we had the sad event of martyrdom of President Raisi, and we had the ceremonies and rituals here in Tehran. It was a duty for me, that's a moral duty for me to participate in the event and pay tribute and pay homage to him and Prime Minister Abdullahi, who was very active in terms of the relationship and international relations of Iran, and also in Tehran and other cities, especially in Metro. And as I said, the second leg of the formation of an establishment of Association of BRICS Cities was held in Dubai in October or November. I can't remember exact date. And I participated there. It was 1.5 months ago. So there it was very successful. We discussed further issues. And the interesting point about that was participation of associations, participation of organizations of related to cities, not just cities. So this actually expands the grounds for cooperation. It was there that I discussed the further cooperation with the association and also with Russian cities. So those organizations can boost our cooperation between AMF and those cities, and can be very helpful. There were other also from Brazil and from India. With Indian cities, we already had signed MOU in 2023, and we have had many good cooperation so far. But other cities and other countries and organizations from other countries can provide this ground. It was achieved actually in the event in Dubai just a few months ago. Let's move next. The events that other member cities had, we have been participating in them. It was one in city of Bojnur participated in the UNESCO Heritage City Network that they delivered a speech. Kerman, Tabriz, and Shiraz participated in Digital Week of Kazan, and we had Shiraz and Mosul participating in LHC, League of Historical Cities. It was held in Ljubljana, Slovenia. They delivered the speeches. It's very good to mention that LHC actually hosted a drawing competition as well for children, and several children of Asian cities participated there, and it was very interesting to have those paintings and drawings displayed in the exhibition that they held in Ljubljana. And actually, some of the children managed to win the competition, as they had let's say, they tried in the awards, and some of them were given them directly there or to the cities that participate there, and some of them through the AMF Secretariat was given to those cities. Mayor of Kermanshah participated in Gaziantep food events and also at UNESCO meeting that was held. So Kermanshah and Gaziantep are sister cities, and they have very good relationships, and it's very good to know that we can help this relationship between two cities, and they are very active. Gastronomy Festival in Rash, as I said, is going to be in a couple of days from now, that we are participating in that, and other cities and other some ambassadors are participating in that. ECI, as a representative of 10 countries in terms of cultural relationships, is participating in that event, and is going to be very successful, good event based on the experiences of past years. I'm quite sure that this year will be even better than before. The Metropolitan Cities Forum is going to be held in Rash in 2 weeks. They're going to discuss this cooperation and some areas. It's actually the Association of Iranian Cities. So far, it has been for the metropolitan cities. They're going to change the charter and do the registration things, and they're in the procedure of being changed into Association of the whole Iranian cities. That would be a great opportunity. Just like other countries that I mentioned, formation of this association can be very helpful for our cooperation more closely with Iranian cities as well, and helping these cities to work with other countries. And then this network could be shaped in a better situation. Intangible heritage events in exciting Shahnameh was another example mentioned earlier, and creative city event in Kermanshah was actually a panel discussion last week that they hosted, and they had very good discussions in terms of creativity and all the aspects that UNESCO considers for creative cities in different areas. We have some 5 cities in Iran that they are working and named as creative cities of UNESCO, and they are working in different areas there. Next. Okay. So we have technical committees. We are all familiar with, and the pilot is going to provide detailed information about them. We had the honor to appoint new cities to new positions. So Mr. Darish Barani, Mayor of Khurramabad, has been appointed as President of Environment and Urban Health Committee, and that hosted the event about a month ago. We had Dr. Nader Nourouzi, esteemed Mayor of Kermanshah, as the President of Public Participation and Social Responsibility Committee, and the President of Urban Economy and Entrepreneurship Committee of the organization, Mr. Dr. Mansour Yawash. And they are the new appointments we had during the executive board meeting that was held in September. So let's move next. So the formation of technical committees now we can say, as you can see, Mashhad is President of Culture and Urban Tourism. Shahband, Deputy for ICT. Again, for those of you who do not know very well, Shahband or Citibank is a bank which was established by jointly by some metropolitan cities in Iran. So it is let's say, a city bank, a bank which is representing cities, and these cities are working together. And the reason that we consider them as the president for smart city innovation cities is that they can provide the grounds for platforms for cooperation between all the cities, not only Iranian cities, but also all the Asian cities, in terms of banking and transactions and the financial issues and all the financial technicalities that they need to work together. And right now, I know that they are working on this project, that the ticket cards that are used, for example, in Tehran for bus and subway, they can use the same part in the city of Mashhad as well, or the city of Isfahan, for example. So that if I go there, a citizen of Tehran go to another city, I can use the same infrastructure, I can use the same devices to use the public transportation and all the facilities, services of those other cities as well. So it not only makes cities closer to one another, but also is actually saving energy and saving resources in terms of selling such things to the audience. They are making it actually, let's say, some, how we can say, they're making it smart, and they are using applications for such services, and it is again being shared by the cities. They're working on sharing such share the services on the applications, so that if I can use, instead of issuing paper tickets to save papers and resources, then I can use my cell phone and the application to have the ticket. And this ticket is not only used in Tehran, but also in Isfahan as well, in Shiraz as well, and so on. It can be shared among all these cities across Asia. Simair of Antalya, the city of Antalya, is Secretary of Culture and Urban Tourism. Kermanshah, as I said, is President of Public Participation and Social Responsibility for Lamabad, for the Environment and Urban Health Committee as the President. Ankara as the President of Urban Economy and Entrepreneurship. Mersin is considered as the Secretary of the Smart Innovation Cities, joining hands with Citibank. And Head of Tehran Disaster Management and Mitigation Organization and the President of Resilient City Committee. Let's go ahead. So technical committees that we had, I think now on it would be better to pass the floor to Dr. Pallavi. It would be a time for me to have some rest, and he would explain more about what they have done. So please, Dr. Pallavi can say further on.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Are you able to hear me now? All right. Okay. Thank you so much for the time being given to me. So, respected Secretary General, distinguished participants, and dear member of the board, good morning to you all. I am Mehdi Falloipana. I'm the Director of AMF Technical Committees, and hope you're all doing great. So, I'll be just shortly briefing you all about the committee's activities and the opportunities and the vacancies for the members to take active part in organizing, participating, delivering speech, and so on in various programs and various fields in order to create a common dialect or sharing the experiences on a common platform. So just before I begin, as Dr. Ghoramzadeh just pointed, we have 6 committees that I'm not going to read it out again, but we do have 4 vacancies as the secretaries in the committees of urban culture and tourism. I'm sorry, in the urban economy and entrepreneurship, in urban environment and health, and in the livability and resilience of cities, and in the public participation and social responsibility. So all the committees are thankfully have the president, but 4 of them do have the vacancies in the position of secretariat. Other than that, all the respected members of the board or interested members or the interested cities, whether do have the experience or want to learn or have something common to share, can take active parts in our committees. We openly welcome every opportunity, every presentation or proposal in order to create a common dialect, so that if you do have something to say, or if you're willing to participate in any of these activities or any of these committees, you're most welcome. You can send us a note, or you can just send us a proposal through the email to our secretary office. So before I start, I just want to thank all the honorable presidents and secretaries of the committees who have put on a real hard work together in order to organize meetings and panels. We have had 4 successful panels since the last year. I'm just going to walk you through it slowly one by one. We had, at the beginning, we had the earthquake early warning system in the first Committee of Livability and Resilience of the cities. It was organized on January 13th, since we believe that every year earthquake leads to lots of human losses and financial losses. So we try to, invest in this way with the sharing experiences and creating a common platform so that people can talk about the earthquake warning system, which can be implemented as an easy, secondary tool to deal with the consequences of the severe earthquakes. So that was our first panel. It was organized between the active members who are into the field and the academicians who had the experience and who had the knowledge. Next to that, we had another, just let me find it. I just want to go one by one. So we had the other smart city ranking seminar, which was organized in March 11th. And since smart city was one of the most important and let's say fundamental processes of accelerating the realization of small ancient cities, we thought of creating a platform to evaluate and identify the current situation or status of each city, so that we can face the challenges and we can use the opportunities. So in order to gain a deeper understanding and knowledge for developing a smart city ranking in Asia. So the first step was to create a program so that we can find out what is happening in our region. This program, as I said, it was organized in March 11th. We had various participants from universities to the organizations, including WIGO, UNESCO, ITU, universities like Amir Kabir, and we had guests and speakers from Turkey, US, Tajikistan, and so on. And I believe it was one of the very fundamental steps that AMF took, and I hope all the other members were interested to step forward to let's complete this action what we started. Then we had another panel of culture and urban tourism. It was organized on August 28th and 29th. The city of Tehran was the host, and we had many participants from various municipalities, including Mashhad, Antalya, Dushanbe, Tehran, Qazvin. I'm just reading few: Ankara, Kazan, Auramabad, Zahed, and so on, and Kermanshah. It was like 2 panels, one after the other, and we tried to hit the topic of culture and urban tourism, and we tried to emphasize and work and talk about the sustainable practices. We tried to analyze the economic and social impacts of urban tourism. We spoke about the mitigating tourism impacts and implementing effective marketing strategies and promoting effective techniques for urban tourism in order to grow and have more effect on economic resilience. After that, just was the recent activity that we finished with the city of Auramabad being the host. We had 2 panels. We organized the panels on 21st and 22nd November. There were 2 panels on participatory conservation, and it was about the urban environment and health. We had 2 topics and 1 workshop. It was about the participatory conservation, which we believe is an effective way to save the environment. So we try to discuss within the local communities in very different natural sources and resources in order to grab more attention of the public to protect their environment. And we try to mention a few of the successful experiences. Besides, we had, since it was a 2-day panel, we had the role of women in participating in protecting the environment. And we tried to look into this matter in a different angle to find out about the gender perspective in order to manage the environment and women's economic empowerment and even women's role in securing food, energy, and water. So this was what about it, and we had various participants from ambassadors to university lecturers and from urban managers. And we are planning to have in a very early future, we are planning or preparing the ground to organize 2 more technical panels, one probably with it will be in the field expected to take place by the beautiful city of Kermanshah. The date is not fixed yet, but we hopefully will arrange and organize the things and will convey the message to everyone who are all interested to take part in it, and the further details will be out soon. And at last, since I don't want to brag it more, I would request all the members to kindly be active, to propose ways, to try to find a way to share knowledge, to share practice, to create dialogue, to make comments on the committees, because the committees itself is nothing if you don't participate actively in it. Thankfully, with the changing the role of committees in the last couple of years, we had very active years, and we are looking forward to have even more active days in the future. I would strongly suggest and request and encourage, actually, all the members and members of the board to take part in it. If you don't want to be the secretary or the presidency, which are actually occupied, you could be the member, or it is the way you could be heard. You can create a way to deliver your speech, to provide the others with your various presentations. You can participate, you can organize, you can write to us and ask for everything, since our committees are very open in various fields under the same topic and field. And at last, I want to just wish everybody a beautiful, a happy and prosperous and peaceful year ahead, since we all know that what happened in our region, the peace was violated in our region. So I wish everybody to have a better future for yourself, for your beloved ones, for your family, and great holidays in upcoming days. I try to cut it down here and make it short, but if you have any further questions regarding the activities or regarding the participation in our committees, you can hit us with questions at the end of the meeting, or you can send us an email. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fallahi Pano, the Director General of AMF Technical Committees. Please, Dr. Gholamzadeh, if you proceed your presentation, we are eager to hear you.
Okay, thank you very much, good friend. Thank you very much, Dr. Fallahi Pano. He has done a lot in terms of activating the technical committees and to making the opportunity for the city to share ideas and experience and knowledge. And it is very important. And I have been witnessing how hardworking and active he has been. And I'm hopeful that in the future we can have more participation of the cities, and we can join hands with other organizations to make these technical areas connected to one another. All of the cities are trying to serve their citizens in the best way. And one thing that can surely help this is through sharing experiences, ideas, knowledge, and solutions. So this can be best done through organizations like AMF, Metropolis, UCMG, Isaacar, Vivo, and the others. So I hope that we can work more and more. Okay, back to the presentation. So internship programs was the courses that we established in this term. And it was a very good opportunity to get connected to the younger generation and to have a chance to experience international relations, especially in terms of urban management and city management. So far we have had 6 internship courses, nearly 50 university students or graduates joined us through these 6 courses. Right now, actually, my deputy is on the other in the other room is interviewing the next group. So they are very busy at this time. So the point is that this provides them with the students who have studied the theories and the textbooks at the university. Now they find the chance to put them into practice and to really experience how it would be to work with others, with foreigners, or with other countries, other cities, and what challenges cities are paying attention to, what issues are more important to them. So their real life is to some extent different from the textbooks. So to having a balance between them and to connecting these 2 areas for another true experience is something that is very valuable, and we're trying to provide that opportunity to our dearest interns. And sometimes it provides us with the opportunity to know good talents and those younger generations who are very talented and very inspiring to work with. We have had the honor to actually have them now as our colleagues, and I'm going to introduce the team further on. So we have also used them, and we have also introduced some of them to other organizations. So they are good skilled now. They are good skilled people and staff that can help the others and to improve their organizations. So we are introducing them for job market as well, and sometimes we observe them into our own. The next slide, please. So generally talking about the activities that we are doing, it is all the let's say different types of activities that we are doing. First of all, we have tried to have improved our relations with the cities. We are trying to have new cities joining AMF, and we're trying to provide further grants for cooperation, technical committees, the women network, education, news agencies. Only these efforts are to provide better opportunities and grants for cooperation. We had established our social networks in the past. We have improved them. The activities are more. The contents are not only reflect activities, but also they're providing and producing some content as well in order to introduce AMF, introduce the cities, introduce the activities, and marking the national days of the cities or joining of the cities to the AMF. So we are trying on these platforms to better inform our audience. So it is very important to inform our member cities of the activities that we are doing and activities the other cities, other member cities. So for that, we have continued and improved the seasonal quarterly, let's say, outlets that provides a review of the activities that we have had through that season, through that quarter. So it's being published every 3 months and provides these reports, and is being shared physically and digitally to all members. I strongly suggest you to go through them, to read them, because it explains about what we are doing, and it also shares the experience and ideas of the others. Sometimes you can be inspired by the activities of the others. Sometimes you can find answers to some questions that you might have about your activities. Let's say the financial affairs is still a challenge. We had a very good relationship with the City of Tehran. The municipality of Tehran has provided a considerable part of the budget that we needed. Iranian cities have been very supportive and helpful in paying their membership fees. We still have some challenges with the non-Iranian cities because of the sanctions on Iran. It is still difficult to receive the membership fees, and it is very vital for any organization to have such membership fees as the let's say laws for the activities. So we are working on that. We are actually trying to establish a let's say branch, we can say, in East Asia in order to have that providing the ground both for receiving the money, membership fees from the cities, and also helping us to have better cooperation with East Asian and Southeast Asian countries. So the time difference is sometimes very huge, and it would be difficult, and the working days might be different, and these challenges are something that makes it difficult to work with East Asian countries. Now we are establishing that branch. I hope that by the end of the year it will be done, and then we can use that office not only for improving our relations with the cities in that part of the world, but also for receiving membership fees from the countries and from the. I would want to, and I would want to mention here that I strongly demand the cities pay attention to this. If you can provide us and suggest any alternative ways to work together to send the money to us, it would be very helpful. The more and the better we work, it would be the more and better services to you, the member cities, and to the services that you provide to the cities. So it can be very helpful if you can find alternatives. Sometimes some cities can pay in cash and in person. We will welcome that. Sometimes they have ways to send money to Iran. We already have an account which has SWIFT, but sometimes I know where I've been, for example, in talks with cities from Turkey or Ireland. I remember that they said that they cannot send deposit money to an account which destination is Iran. I understand that, but let's try to find some other ways. We are also working on cryptocurrencies. Maybe we can use crypto wallets to receive money as well. So if you are working that way, if you can pay in cryptocurrency, please step forward and let us know through our colleagues at the Secretariat so that we can work together. I'm hopeful that by the end of the year and by the end of this year, we are going to finish this challenge and to solve this problem so that we can, let's say, have a more routine and better performing in our activity. So let's move next. So we have had the honor to have more cities joining us or reviving their membership in our organization. As you can see, I'm not going to read all of them. We have had members from India, Turkey, Jordan, Pakistan, Palestine, and Iran. It's very helpful to have more cities, and it expands actually our network of memberships, and hope that they can very soon join completely in the network in terms of activity and relations with other cities, so that we can help them better on. So let's move ahead. So at this time of the year is usually the third or fourth quarter is the time that we publish the call for nominations, and another call I want to mention. The nomination is for Asian Capitals of 2025. So as I said, last year we started this initiative in 2023, and we introduced the first round of capitals, Asian capitals in 2024. Obeidi was for tourism, for culture, Hamadan for tourism, and Shiraz for environment. So far, we have for these three categories. For environment, we have 4 cities nominated for that. For tourism, 3 cities, and for culture, 4 cities have nominated for being named. And we are going through the procedures, and by the end of the year, I hope that we can publicly announce the cities. And of course, then the certificates and the official procedures would be during the events that we would hold, and then we provide these at the in-person events. Let's move ahead. So we have done a lot through these years, especially past year that we just reviewed. We have listened, and we have heard and know about the past events, past years as well. So all of this could have been possible through having a great and active team that you can see right now here. I'm very happy that this chart has been expanded. So in early years, in the first year that we came to office here, I think we had just 2 or 3 people, and now we can see that how it has been increased, and this has been the way that it made it possible for our activities at the Secretariat and with other member cities to expand and to be more and to improve the activities. So I'm very grateful to this great team that you can see, and I'm not going to read the title, but I'm going, as a show of respect, I'm going to name every single one of them, beginning from my deputy, Ms. Khatami, and also my advisors, Mr. Khorsan and Mr. Shadi. I'm very grateful to all of them. I'm also to Dr. Khaled Panani. We just listened to his presentation. It was just a portion of the activities that he has done. And not all the activities can be provided in such a short time and through presentations. Mr. Tashkov, Ms. Layli, and Ms. Khani, and Ms. Ranjba, and also the new teams, Mr. Tahiri, Mr. Mirzai, and the last but not least, Ms. Zamiri, who he's actually hosting this event and moderating this meetup event. There are other people also working on money that have been very helpful. I'm very honestly grateful to all of them, and I appreciate all the efforts that they put to this team. Let's go next. So, general assemblies that we have we have had 6 general assemblies so far, and now we are actually closing this current term, and we are going to have the next General Assembly meeting. So the last one was in Dushanbe, Tajikistan, and as my brother Mr. Babazadeh presented at the beginning of this event, they have done a lot. It was actually an honor for me to be cooperating with City of Dushanbe for the past 3 years. They have been very helpful. They were very kind in working with secretaries, and they have participated in almost all of the events. And it was a great experience for me, especially at the first year. It was really independent, so we had all challenges in working together. But anyway, we went through all those times, and we worked hard. It is a moral duty for me to appreciate all the efforts that they put into working together and in participating in all the events that we had and supporting the activities of Secretariat. As Mr. Babazadeh mentioned, the sitting mayor of Dushanbe is the Speaker of the Parliament as well, and he has a lot of things to do. I am quite sure how busy he is. Yes, he participated in our General Assembly, in the visit that he paid several, and in some other events he participated himself. And even if it was not possible for him, which is totally understandable, he has sent and commissioned some representatives. So it is very important. They hosted some events in the city of Dushanbe, the investment and the sports events and some other events that they have had. And they always invited us, and we, some cases, we participated in helping that. So we are, let's move next. We are going to have the next one. So you can also see the executive board meeting that we have had. I should appreciate the city of Kazan and the city of Tehran for hosting the executive boards that we had, the 9th and the 10th events, and we had the 9th one spring of 2023 and the summer of 2024. A few months ago, we had in the city of Tehran. We had executive board meetings to discuss executive issues. Next, please. So we spread the call for hosting the General Assembly for the next year. We have had a number of candidates so far. Let's say officially the window for being a nominee for a candidate for the next term is finished, but I would like to use my authority to give the chance again if there is any cities who would like, since we have not come to a conclusion yet, we can have a next for the opportunity for the cities to nominate who they want. So the city that hosts the next General Assembly is the city that would be the term president for 2025 up to 2028. What we demand from President City is to host the events first and to be supportive in cooperating with the Secretariat. It's not going to, except for the General Assembly meeting, which actually bears some expenses. It is not supposed to impose any financial burdens on the cities. It's mainly on policy making and promoting activities and such things. So if we already have from at least 4 countries, I can remember right now that we have, but I'm not going to mention because the judgment has not gone and the procedure has not gone forward, so I'm avoiding to mention them. But if there is any cities for the next week, we can have the opportunity to have them for registration. So let's move ahead. So with 2025 coming to an end and with 25 around the corner, we need to discuss what we are going to do. So the top one is actually to form the General Assembly, because we need to pass the baton to the next city in terms of presidency, and there is a possibility that the Secretary General can be handed over to the next person as well. I'm not saying one of the candidates, but anyway, it needs to be voted by the Executive Board and the General Assembly. So we are going to decide about that for the next year. So my staff here, my team, are commissioned to dedicate their time and most of their energy to hosting the next event. We had a lot to do to wrap up these terms, 3 years of activities, many things that they have done. They need to provide the reports, they need to provide the materials, they need to produce let's say clips and videos and reports in multimedia reports that they need to provide. There are a lot of things that they need to do, and the focus will be on that. But it doesn't mean that we are going to ignore the rest of the activities that we have been doing and we are doing. So we are going to continue the same procedure. We are going to establish new relations with the cities. We are going to invite new cities to join us. We are going to work with ambassadors and embassies. We are going to expand our relations with the organizations. The MOUs that we have signed in the past or signed in this year or we are going to sign next year are not just to be put on the paper. They need to be implemented. So we are going to work, and we don't have much time. but I'm quite sure that with the good team that I have here, they are going to pave the ground for many activities, even while they are busy with the General Assembly events. Just right now, as I said, my deputies were busy with another event, interviews in the next room. It's the same way. They are working all together in different areas and simultaneously they are handling different events in different occasions. So we are going to continue that. Let's move forward. I'm going to read one by one. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, it's a review of what the activities that we are going to fill the vacancies in the technical committees in order to improve the activities that they can have. The president and secretaries are going to be appointed, and they're going to we are going to actually ask the committees to have their events and provide their agendas for the next year, so that we can work together better and we have some plans, some calendar for the events. The committees are supposed to have at least one event a year. It can be one technical event. It can also be jointly or separately a gathering to discuss the activities that they can have, and where they are required to produce some content, some reports, some researchers, some content and materials that can explain what they do and what they want to do, what their member cities have done or doing in that particular area. And we are going to work with some universities in order to hold some workshops and boot camps and events, educational events, not only for the citizens and all the public audience, but also for the staff of the municipality. So I would like to raise your awareness on that. Pay attention to this, and we're going to provide some educational services, some materials for the municipality staff. It would be a very good opportunity to empower the staff of the cities and municipalities by improving them. The performance and the services of the municipalities can be improved, and with that, the situation and life standards of the people in your cities will be improved. Next move, and ahead. So we have, as the network of the cities, we need to collect the experience of the agency. In-person or virtual meetings that we can have. Yes. Let's say this is more focused on educating and training, not just reporting or sharing ideas. It's different from that. So technical committees and secretaries are going to participate in the different international events that are going to be held. Some of them are decentralized, some of them are going to be sent, and then we can share and participate in them. We're going to continue to work with knowledge-based firms and startups. We were supposed to have this big event in Tehran during this year, current year, 2024. But because of the development and changes in the situation that happened in Iran, unfortunately, we had to postpone it to the unknown future. But anyway, we are still working with the knowledge-based firms and startups and the groups that are using IT and the new technologies for improving the services. We are trying to expand them to other cities as well. Let's move ahead. And actually, we are working with cities to have some, let's say, events in other cities as well. So we are going to have, we are suggesting so cities to have exhibitions. We are connecting the private sector. We are connected to the knowledge-based organizations and entities. And these entities can provide opportunities for the cities. So one thing that we are doing is to work with cities to hold exhibitions so that urban services can be produced or introduced to the cities. The second one is the market, the urban market that we are going to establish digitally, so that we can connect cities and the providers of the services in that market. It would be, I think, before the by the General Assembly, we are going to unveil this event. Maybe during the General Assembly or even that before that, we're going to have this market so that we can provide the opportunity. There might be a company or a startup in let's say in India that can be providing a solution that another city in Kazakhstan, for example, needs. So we can provide them together. In normal circumstances, they don't have opportunity to know one another, but as a network of the cities, we are responsible for that to provide them with such an opportunity. We are going to introduce it in a couple of months, inshallah. So next slide, please. The event that is going to be held is in next April and May, that we are honored to participate in that. So it was based on the experience that Tehran had. They held sports events, sports competitions for the citizens. It is at amateur level, not professional ones. They have provided the opportunity for the citizens to participate in these sports competitions. It's first at the neighborhood level, then it goes to the district level, and then at the city level, they compete with one another. It was the first year, 2 years ago. Last year, they expanded it to nationwide. So different cities had this procedure, competing in different fields and different areas. And then it was the final competition was between the Iranian cities that they competed, and then they managed to have champions in each of those fields and sports at the national level. Now, in negotiations that we had, it is decided that AMF would help the city of Tehran to make it international, mainly focused to Asia, but not only limited to Asia. So I'm officially introducing the events now. We are going to send the invitation through the correspondent as well. And it is that we want you to introduce your citizens and your people, sportsmen and women, to join this event. It's going to be in 4 areas, 4 fields. 3 or 4 of them for women, 3 or 4 of them for men. Actually, we want you to send your teams in those areas to Tehran during those days that you can see on the screen, so that they participate in this event. So we are going to have the competition between the champions of Iranian cities and the cities that are coming from across Asia. So all the costs inside Tehran will be covered by the AMF and the municipality of Tehran. I'm not quite sure, but we are still working on that, but I cannot promise for that. That maybe some part of the tickets would be, airfare could be also covered. I'm not sure. Not very likely. I'm not going to promise for that. But something that I can promise for is that all the costs inside Iran, the transportation, the meals, the facilities, or the accommodation, everything would be completely covered inside Tehran. So it's a very good opportunity to have this exchange of citizens. First of all, it's a cultural relation between cities. It is very helpful for the health of the citizens, very helpful to improve the athlete and champion level sports of the cities. It introduces many new talents to the cities, and it improves the level of the sports by such international competition. I know that I just mentioned, I know that city of Dushanbe has such competitions. I know that Kazan has these events for brief cities. I know that Moscow has such similar events. Now we want to make it international Asia. So city of Tehran is hosting this event. I hope that the next years, in 2026 and so on, we could have such events in other cities and other countries and so on. So again, I would like to invite you all to send your teams to this event, which based on the experiences of the past 2 years, it's going to be a very huge and great event. So let's move on. So we are going to continue to have the interns at the AMF. As I said, interviews are going on the procedure right now, and we are going to have more interns, and I hope that we can have some international interns as well to continue. So that's, there's not to make sure very long this move ahead. So as I said, the most important part of the network is the member cities. So we welcome expanding our relations with you. We welcome working with you in different areas. Sometimes we suggest, sometimes we publish the phone for participation or working together, but sometimes you can participate and step forward to work with us. If there is any areas that you think that AMF can help you to improve your activities or to make other cities join you or to promote your events, just don't hesitate and let's work together. I know that already many cities are working with us. We just provided some examples of the activities that we had in cooperation with universities. Sometimes we forget how good our activities are and how other cities can join and how we can share that idea with the others. In every activity that you are holding, every big project and main project that you have, think twice and maybe we can help you to do it better, or we can help you to promote those events and activities to the other cities and other citizens as well. Again, you can remember the one MOU that we have, the news agencies MOU that we signed. You can use that opportunity to promote your activities, to promote the reports of the activities that you are doing, to reach the audience easier and more vastly, so that you can inform them of the services that you are providing. So next, please. So again, different areas that we can work together. As I said, for example, we can include international organizations in member cities activities. I gave the example of exhibitions. We can work on that either in cultural aspects or in economic aspects, like, as I said, the bringing startups and private sector to exhibitions. Also, educational materials and courses that we can have for your staff could be such cooperation that we can have. Let's say we can include, as I said, international organizations. We can include other member cities here activities. We can include, we share the area ideas and experiences together as well. So there are vast areas of cooperation. We just need to review and revise such cooperation. We need to pay attention to how we can work together. Just be very creative in thinking about such cooperation and don't think in the box, think inside the box, think outside the box, and think twice how we can work together. From our side, we are open to any suggestions, and we are welcoming any ideas for cooperation together. Next, please. So the MOUs that I said, you can use them the best way with meet your interests. We can, it's very important now, since we have some partner organizations joining us today, and we are going to share the video with others as well. I would like to urge the other networks and other organizations to be concerned and helpful about sharing the calendars and the events together. Of course, we have had such discussions with many organizations in the past. Just a reminder that if we can join hands, if we are going to have, for example, General Assembly next year, if I can share that opportunity with other organizations, that will be a good opportunity to have other events. So we can share our networks together. We can share our opportunities together. We can share our calendars together and our events together. So it's very helpful for all of us to save energy, to save time, to save resources, and of course to make it easier for us to work together and to share all our connections and networks together as well. We are doing our best to work with other organizations to participate in the events that they invite us, and it's very helpful. Sometimes they cannot have us as the members. Sometimes they can have us as partners. Sometimes they can have us as observers. All of them could be possible. The sharing of such opportunities could be very helpful to work together and to be informed of the activities that we are doing together. Next, please. As a wrap-up, I can say, I need to mention the things that we have done and the things that we are going to do to pave the ground for better activities of the Secretary. We went through a lot of efforts. It was not me, mainly my colleagues actually, to be honest, that they did their best to improve the infrastructure here. From physical infrastructure to technical ones, to digital ones, everything has changed a lot in this small building that we have in terms of physical infrastructure and also in terms of activities that we're witnessing for the past couple of years. We are going to continue the same way and improve that to improve the revenue system, and it's, part of it is from the membership fees, part of it from the budget that the supporting budget that the City of Tehran provides us as the host city, and also incomes that we can have from the activities that we're selling our products, or let's say some services like courses and educations to citizens or other organizations, and also I don't know, working with providing consultancy to some organizations. These are the things that we can provide to make income for the activities of the Secretary. It's not going to count to huge sums, but it can at least provide some daily basis expenses that we have, and it makes it more, let's say, routine and more easier to work together. So we have already developed our human resources. We are going to continue the same path in terms of increasing them, and in case of improving them, empowering them, let's say. So we are holding courses, educational courses for our staff and for our team here. They're all working closely with interns so that they can, by sharing their own experiences, they have the opportunity to revive their experiences and to actually be a second teaching to the next generation. And we are providing them with meetings and presentations to have some improvement knowledge for them. So we are hopeful to have some support from other member cities, organizations, the private sector, and other areas as well. As I said, we had the equipment of the Secretariat improved, and we did redesign the website. It is still under construction in subtle things and detail points, but it has changed a lot. I think that the new website that we have been working on for the past year is much more helpful in informing the city, for informing the cities, for getting the participation from the cities, depth of registration, holding the events and webinars and such things. All of them are the elements that have been provided in the past year to improve our social media and website and the digital platform that we have. So my presentation comes to an end here. I would like to once again appreciate all of you participating today in this meetup event. And I would like to once again appreciate all the help and support that the city of Dushanbe had for us. Very brotherly and fraternity support they provided us, and very helpful. It was a great experience to work with the city of Dushanbe, but still we have a lot to do. Yeah, until they hand over the presidency. Anyway, I'm obliged to appreciate all the things that they've done. And again, I would like to appreciate my team who worked very strongly and very, let's say, tirelessly for the past year. And then they made it possible to have such activities. And the last but not least, I need to appreciate all the member cities who worked with us and have been active in our activities, either today in different areas, in our panel discussions, in committees, everywhere. Anyway, they have been supportive and participating in our events and made it possible to expand this network of cities and to share ideas and to solutions and to work together. I'm very happy to see that through the network of AMF, other cities are working together, and it has been made possible through our network. It's very promising for me. It's very good news to me. So I would like to appreciate all the cities have been working with us. I hope that in the future this cooperation will be more and more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gholamzadeh, the Secretary General of AMF, for informing us about the programs that have been carried out so far. Definitely, our city members and our dear participants can confirm the activities have been done so far. They're too much actually interesting and fruitful. Okay, let's change the meeting from one way to joint conversation. I would like to ask our dear participants, if anyone have any questions, please turn on your microphone and we are eager to hear you. No one has any questions? Okay, let's have a joint picture. Please, everyone, share your webcam. We want to have a joint picture of all of you. Thank you. Okay, thank you. As we draw our meeting to a close, I would like to express my gratitude to each and every one of you for your participation today. Thank you once again for your time. I look forward to our continued partnership and future success together. Goodbye.